So, uh, please go ahead and just read this one, and then we'll go ahead with the questions. Yeah, for a moment, read it. So let's see. The first question is what we have as vocabulary question. As you can see, it asks the word feats in the passage is closest in meaning to. So examples, achievements, skills, and investments. So which one is the best choice? So, Miss Wajiha, what's your answer?
In the name of Allah, yep, I have answered this question. If we go to the first sentences of the paragraph, adequates are among the most impressive engineering feats of ancient civilization. Adequates are structures built to transport water from a distant source to cities and towns. I think that this sentence gives us all the information about the fates, and that this is the fates come from the trying of the pupil and the doing of the pupil. And if we come to the options, examples, it's not an example because there we could not find any, for example, any specific example of that. I think that it's B because people try for that and then they achieve their result of their ancient civilization. And if I came to the option 3 or C, is skills, I think that fits are something that people done and they could see the result, and it's not somehow the skill is far has a far meaning to that. And the option D is investment. And I at the first I thought that it's the investments, but I think that it's more close to the achievements because here is a build. We have a word of build. It means the people build this system to transport water.
Yeah.
And I think the keyword is build.
Very good. Yeah, that's a clue. Okay, in vocabulary questions, we have to pay attention to the context clue, the words before and after the highlighted word here. Yeah, thank you very much. So, is there anyone else having a different choice? Miss Ferishta?
Hi teacher, I hope you're doing great and well with my classmates. So yeah, teacher, I do think that the word fit close to achievement because you know that if we say in a first paragraph that aqueducts are among the most impressive engineering feats of ancient civilization, then here you know that if we use that it's the most impressive engineering examples, it's completely wrong. Skills also wrong. Investment also wrong. It's achievement. Why? Because you know that it was somehow a kind of achievement for people that during, some period of time, they, they achieved this achievement that transformed the water from one distance to another distance. So that's why from the main idea also we can, to understand that the meaning of it is achievement, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, great. Miss Suhaila, do you want to add something?
No, sir. I agree that number B is the correct option.
Okay, so thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. The right choice here we have is B. Feats means achievements. If we compare the options based on part of speech, again, it fits well. So achievements means feats. Both are noun based on part of speech. And singularity and plurality, yeah. So it gives the right match here. And if we put, or we do the logical replacement of the word, yeah, it again fits the best. So let's get into the next question. Why does the author mention public baths fountains, households, and agriculture. So, first of all, as it is asking the reason for mentioning a specific part of the text, it is a rhetorical purpose question because it asks a specific piece of information stated inside the passage, the reason for mentioning that. So it is a rhetorical purpose question. So please go ahead with this one and let's choose which one is right. If we take a close look at the word which is used here, first of all, inside the question, as your classmate mentioned, the keywords that are stated are public baths, fountains, households, and agriculture. So overall, these words show the use, how public people might have used these areas. Let's look at how it is. It starts with the aqueducts are among the most impressive engineering feats of ancient civilization. Aqueducts are structures built to transport water from a distant source to cities and towns. Look, it's one key point here. And then the Romans, in particular, perfected the construction of aqueducts using gravity to carry water over long distances. Again, here it is another point. Then it mentions Roman aqueducts were made of stone, brick, and concrete and included tunnels, bridges, and pipes. So they were the essential to the growth and sustainability of Roman cities. Look, doesn't it overall discuss how people used aqueducts? Yes. So it discusses the overall use of these aqueducts, especially in Romans. The next sentence says, they supplied water. So look here, it says they supplied. Supplied, it means they provided the use for what? The use of water for public baths, fountains, households, and agriculture. Inside the sentence we have, when it says the word it supplied or they supplied water, it means they were used for this purpose. Understood? So overall, it discusses the use of aqueducts and how they supplied water for public baths, fountains, households, and agriculture. So here, the main purpose for stating this part is, to explain the usefulness of Roman aqueducts. So this is the best one. But if you take a look at the other ones, for example, C, to emphasize the rapid growth and impressive sustainability of Roman cities, it is not the focus of this sentence to say that it should be about it. No. Supplied water for public baths doesn't support the idea for sustainability, doesn't support growth here. It shows how they were used because it said they supplied. It shows that kind of point. So the best answer is D. So let's get into the next question. Question number 8. What specific ancient structure is mentioned in the passage as still existing today? Yep. Miss Vajiha, you already answered?
Yes, sir, because the answer is just one sentence down of the previous.
A tunnel, a bridge, a fountain, a channel. So this is a factual information question. It asks a specific idea. Yeah, here
sir,
we have.
Can I answer?
Yep.
Okay. After the previous sentences, one famous example is the Pont de Gard in France. Built in the 1st century AD. It spans 50 kilometers and features a tiered bridge that remains standing today.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the answer.
So bridge is the one that remains standing today. So It is a factual information question, and we can easily get the answer. So the answer choice is B here, the correct answer. Great. Let's go to the next question. Question number 9. What problem with ancient aqueducts is mentioned in the passage? What was a problem? So just read the answer choices, and then we'll go back to the passage. So now I'll go back to the passage. What problem is stated? Anytime we want to find out the answer to the question, we need to focus on the keywords it uses. Here, the keyword is itself problem, and then we have ancient aqueducts. And these two are the keywords we need to take a look at this one. So the order of questions tell us that usually, yeah, here we have the answer to this specific question, the problem. However, constructing and maintaining aqueducts required significant resources. Look, it's required significant resources. It means it was one of the important problems that needed to be focused. And here, resources and labor, it means the work, the people who were needed to work there. And resources, it means money and other resources that could be used here. Exactly. So here D is the correct option because it says the cost and effort of building. When it says the cost, it means the resource and effort of building. So effort here simply refers to the labor, the cost and effort of building and maintaining them. This is explaining the problem that they faced. So the next question, question 30, it's the insert text question. So please go ahead with this one. Okay, thank you for good points. Let's consider the analysis of the sentence first. It says, this meant that the source of water had to be higher than the city to which it was brought. So here we have a keyword, a key referent here is this. And then it says the source of the water had to be higher. It's again a key point. So let's see which one talks about this idea here. So as we have seen here, option A is not the correct choice because if you put here, it will misrepresent the connection. And then it says aqueducts are structures built to transport water from a distant source to cities and Romans. So here there is a clear connection between saying the distant source to cities and towns, and then it mentions in particular. In particular, it means this idea. It adds this idea here to elaborate this point. So already the connection is clear. We don't need to put another sentence to perfect it. So perfected the construction of aqueducts using how? Using what? Using gravity to carry water over long distances. Look here, when we say gravity simply refers to a lower level of the land. And then we have Roman aqueducts were made of stone, brick, and concrete, including these ones. So here we have gravity, but the sentence after that talks about the construction. So nothing is explained about the gravity and how they try to carry water over long distances. So this idea needs to be explained. In this case, we can say, yeah, that C is the correct choice because gravity is not explained. And in our sentence, we had the idea that this meant, it means this using this gravity, this meant that the source of water had to be higher than the city to which it was brought. It explains that specific idea. It supports this idea. So that's why the correct choice would be choice C. Let's get into the next one. So we have another passage here. Advancements in renewable energy engineering. And the first question is here. According to the passage, what does not occur inside PV cells? Silicon or another material absorbs sunlight. A. B. Electrons become less lightly bound to atoms. C. A flow of electric current is captured. D. Electricity is stored in a battery. So we have the question and the passage. So please go ahead.